Hello everyone, welcome back to Protect and Persevere. So today's video I'm actually going to be doing a breakdown of a series of posts I did on my Instagram. You also check it out. I usually post stuff first there and do a more detailed write-up about something I'll eventually do a video on, but yeah, definitely go check that out. So today, like I was saying, it's a kind of 4-part series about plussing up your EDC in kind of varying levels. So Corn Pop Actual on his Instagram kind of came up with it. Also has a lot of other really good content, no BS, pretty like unfiltered, good, logical. Just he makes a lot of good stuff and puts out a lot of great information. And I'm pretty sure he also has like past law enforcement experience, but mainly just his stuff. It just makes sense. So yeah, highly recommend y'all go check out his stuff. But yeah, he kind of came up with this 4-part series about kind of society slowly kind of like collapsing and degrading and just kind of varying levels of how to react to it in your everyday life. So yeah, definitely his setup's a little bit different than mine, but this is kind of just my take. So going into it, level 1. So level 1 is kind of just the baseline. What are you actually going to start off carrying, like just right now? So for me personally, I just carry a Glock 19 or a similar profile. I've carried compacts in the past, but I just think the Glock 19-esque gun is the kind of gold standard. For me personally, it's pretty easy to conceal. If I carry appendix, I can actually wear a lot tighter fit clothing and, almost and dress clothes. But I actually prefer to carry 3 o'clock, but appendix is kind of the go-to if I'm really concerned about concealing something. And that's kind of the biggest threat at level 1, is just concealing what you have, not necessarily threats that are out there. And then outside of that, if I have to carry appendix, I'm probably not going to carry a weapon light, just because for me it's not really comfortable, and that's kind of the line that I draw. However, I do always carry a flashlight, even if I do have a weapon light. But, so yeah, I think that's kind of non-negotiable. Not only do you need to be able to see things, but also you can't just point your gun at it if you do have a weapon light. So, I think you definitely need a flashlight. And then also, I like to personally carry a spare mag and a neo mag carrier. A pretty slick way to have an extra mag on you. Highly unlikely to actually need it in like a self-defense shooting, but mainly just if I had a malfunction or I just want to top off, it's just a peace of mind. Also from there, I carry a little fixed blade. This is an SC Azula knife, really nice little knife. Can conceal it pretty well, can even deep carry it, but I like just having a fixed blade over a folder just because I won't, accidentally, deploy it and like it not be all the way, unfolded, or, cut my hand trying to freaking open it. That if I can just get my hand on it and get it out, then I have something to kind of defend myself, or open boxes more likely. But yeah. And then also, I think carrying a tourniquet, if you're going to carry a gun, is a smart idea. This is a soft T, folds up really flat in your pocket. I think that's also kind of a non-negotiable for me. And then also, obviously, your wallet. So that's kind of my baseline. It's what I've kind of got used to over the years. People, you just kind of have to figure out your own setup and where you're going to actually carry at the very least. So, yeah. So this is where the actual plussing up part begins. So part 2 is where you're kind of slightly more concerned. People are acting weird, and you just want to be a little bit more prepared. Maybe there's some big holidays coming up, a big, event, or something's happening. There's a lot of people and a lot of buzz. Or maybe you're just going into the big city, and this is kind of just what you would do if you have to go into there. Me personally, this is what I've been kind of going with, just playing around, seeing what I can carry comfortably, kind of plussing up to. Obviously, when I can and when I can dress like this, probably the first thing is that if I can wear looser fitting clothing, I would probably go with a 3 o'clock holster. Just it's way more comfortable. I can carry with a light and just totally not even think about carrying it. Also, I can add a second magazine. This one is a little bit more faster access on my support side, so I have 2 mags on me. And then also my ankle IFAK. Pretty much if I'm wearing pants, I'm going to be carrying it, but definitely pluses up, from just a tourniquet to almost a full IFAK on my leg. It's a lot of capability. that I can still conceal. And then also from there on, I actually don't normally carry this little backpack, but having a little small like drawstring backpack either in your car or even in your regular go bag or day bag is pretty easy to just stuff things in it. And in my opinion, it's the only like bag that doesn't scream like terrorist or like wannabe operator. But yeah, if I did have to kind of sum it up, I would carry this little bag with me if I had to go fully mobile and low profile. Probably the first thing I'd carry in there is just like an extra layer if I wasn't always wearing a button-up shirt, and then also a soft body armor panel and a t-shirt. It just, this way I could have it on me, I could sling it to my front if I need to, or just have it staged and ready to go if I wanted to like get kind of escalated up to like a level 3 or whatnot. And then also maybe some backup, like some water, some snacks, some chem lights for marking, and then also gloves and a neck gaiter. But yeah, I don't always carry this like drawstring backpack like that, but it's definitely something I can quickly just stuff it to carry stuff like this. And so yeah, or just stage whatever other gear you want to. And like I said, it's the most low profile bag out there, in my opinion. Alright, so part 3 is when things are actually kind of actively happening. Mainly in just big cities and kind of high populated areas. So things in kind of small town USA and your average rural community, things are still okay for now. So in my opinion, part 3 and 4 are kind of in the same ballpark of where I'm just honestly trying to get home or not go out as if I can help it. But maybe it's some weird scenario where, you still got to go to work, you still got to, check on your family and friends and whatnot. So you just assume that you have to travel places and whatnot, and you're just having to be more prepared and equipped to handle problems. And the other kind of difference between a part 3 and a part 4 is mainly what capabilities do I have. So this part 3 is if all I have is just my handgun and just other support gear. So kind of following the Chuck Pressburg, as talked about by both Corn Pop, Actual, and also Brass Facts, has a great video on this, kind of the offensive handgun principle, but basically just maximizing what you concealed carry to be like a fighting handgun if that's all you have on you. And obviously it's not ideal, but if that's all you have, you might as well kind of maximize it. And so in my opinion, the first thing I would do is I would just carry as much pistol ammunition as possible. I could carry, like I had before, I'd basically just add all the stuff from the other parts 1 and 2, my baseline, and just add from there. So at this point I would add a second kind of mag pouch, and that way I have 3 mags on person. I could have more in my backpack if I needed. Obviously you're not trying to get into a fight with just a handgun, but you're just trying to accomplish or go wherever you need to go. Even if that's just trying to just go home. And then also from there, I would add more medical. So if you can see in that pic, I have a little cheap fanny pack that I have an IFAK in. So the tourniquet in my pocket, plus the ankle IFAK, plus the fanny medical. That's a decent amount of medical you can keep on you. And all of this, in kind of that first picture, I can relatively conceal with just a lighter kind of jacket or whatnot. And then that, I have that staged in part 2, but I can easily, the main point of all of these EDC plus ups is being able to conceal it relatively. So those are kind of the big things I would add to support my kind of, if I only had a handgun on me. The second thing too is I would kind of graduate from I would actually go to my actual like get home bag that I've done past videos on, and I'll probably do an updated version. But basically, in my opinion, if I'm actively trying to just get home or get somewhere and you don't like actually live in the city full time, and you actually have to go through like some rural areas, having basic like food, water, survival items, and just basic crap like that is actually more important than like shoving a PDW in like a bag, in my opinion. So yeah, I have my get home bag with me, and then also at this point I'd pretty much already be wearing my soft armor t-shirt. Maybe I just have the front panel on and I just have the other panel on the backpack, and that way I'm trying to just get home or get somewhere, and that way I would have all my gear with me, and I'd still have, you know, pistol protection, because that's still your kind of your biggest concern at this point. And then also, showing the ham radio, I think at this point, having a solid comms plan, whether that's people with you or nearby where you're going. Also, I've been looking into mesh-tastic networks a little bit. Basically, just having some other backup communications that if things are already getting bad, obviously you have to consider how are you going to communicate if the cell towers have problems, because they're already having problems now. So that's my part 3 kind of level 3 setup. So part 4, kind of what I titled in my Instagram post, is I'm going home no matter what. So at this point, things have really escalated. Problems have gotten from just the big cities to even in small towns and even rural areas. And this is like I was saying in part 3, all things considered, I would want to just be home, at home, just straight chilling with the homies, maybe even considering pulling security and other plans there. However, just for this example, you have to either get home or go somewhere. Maybe you got stuck at work, you were traveling, or you just have to get to, Billy Bob's house across town, and just for some reason you just absolutely have to go there during all this chaos. And also, for the sake of this example, instead of just being able to pick and choose your loadout to go from home to here, this is you're still, for some reason, things didn't happen chronologically, or they escalated so fast that you didn't just have the option to choose your loadout. It was just you had your kind of baseline. Maybe you got to part 3 and 4 relatively quick, part 2 and 3 quickly, and this is just what you kind of had on you as you're kind of leveling up and plussing up your EDC without knowing what's going to happen. So the only real difference between part 3 and 4, like I was saying, is if I can bring my 10.5 with me. Intermediate caliber, just rifle cartridges are better than handgun cartridges, in my opinion. I know cool PDWs are all the rage and stuff, and they can get really small and packable and concealable and all that, but just if things are getting this bad, a rifle caliber is just superior, in my opinion. And also, if I can, honestly, it doesn't really matter what level it is at. If I can easily conceal, hide, and transport a rifle with me effectively in my vehicle, I'm going to do that. It's just that much of a force multiplier. And also, like I was saying, I'm not trying to get into some crazy big gunfight or anything. I'm not trying to actively hurt anyone. This is part 4. I am trying to get home, or I'm trying to go somewhere, and people are denying me safe passage. So this is just, I'm going to accomplish what I need to accomplish no matter what. And honestly, all of this is kind of like I was saying, I'm trying my absolute best to conceal and not look like a threat or a target or anything. So with all of this, I need to be able to still, at the very least, be prepared and staged to go full-blown clandestine operations or whatnot. But if I end up just getting all geared up and I don't have to ever deploy any of this, and I just successfully make it to my destination without any commotion, then that's a major win in my book. So adding all the kind of parts together, let's kind of break this kit down. So first off is the tried and true Wilson tennis bag that holds my 10.5, obviously. Has just a red dot and a flashlight, but pretty solid. And then the main support gear is I would trade my 3rd pistol mag for a fast mag. And then I have this really cool bandolier from UW Gear that holds an additional 3 mags, plus it has molly kind of slots for either a tourniquet and a smoke grenade, or maybe a restraining device. But yeah, all of this I can conceal pretty easily, even with my soft armor. Also, another great option is from Night Fighter, or now Nocturnal Fighter, on Instagram. He makes a pretty nice bandolier that you conceal pretty well too. Y'all go check him out. It's also a great option for this. I think you can make the case for some hard, slick armor, like rifle plates, but I just don't currently have any. but it's also a lot less likely for me to just have that always on me or in my vehicle, unlike soft armor. And then also a Shorty 300 Blackout makes sense. Just this 10.5's kind of just been my go-to over the years. A lot of other considerations, but that's just kind of my level 4 of I'm just trying to get home or get somewhere and things are getting really chaotic. So I hope y'all kind of like that series of plussing up or leveling up your EDC. Check out my Instagram if you want more detailed kind of write-up on all of this. Hope y'all found this useful and whatnot. Stay safe out there, stay frosty, and God bless.